Conflicts arise with all kinds of people, not just difficult or defensive ones. In fact, you may know some very nice, even reasonable people with whom you may have a conflict. Here are 6 techniques you can use to resolve conflicts in all kinds of situations with all kinds of people. Remember, your goal is to produce a win-win outcome in any conflict you encounter. Using these skills will not always guarantee the outcome you want, but the creative use of these skills will maximize the likelihood of resolving a conflict in a positive manner. Let's begin with the technique of I versus you language. Whether you're critiquing someone's performance or disagreeing with them at a staff meeting, often the difference between getting cooperation or resistance is based on which pronoun you use, I or you. When you start off your statements with the pronoun you may be establishing an atmosphere of conflict. People may react defensively or negatively to what you've said. The reason why is that the word you can sound accusatory, judgmental, and threatening. Here are 2 examples of what I mean.
Sandra, you constantly make such dumb mistakes on these reports. You know how much I count on you. Why can't you be more careful?
Tom, you can't be serious about that proposal. It's totally absurd. You know it won't work. But listen to my idea.
What's your gut reaction when someone says to you, "You were wrong. You made a mistake. Your idea will never work"? If you're like most people, you feel defensive and want to fight back. At the very least, you may feel some resistance to what they're saying. But by starting off your statements with the pronoun I, you are taking 100% responsibility and ownership for what you're saying. As a result, you promote cooperation and understanding, and you're less likely to be threatening, especially to someone of higher authority. Now, though the content remains the same, notice the positive difference when the pronoun I is used instead of you.
Sandra, I've noticed that your reports continue to have a number of mistakes in them. I really do count on you as a valuable staff member, and I'd like you to be more careful in the future.
Tom, I can't agree with that proposal. I really don't think it'll work. But I have another suggestion I'd like to make.
You can avoid communication failures, misunderstandings, and personality clashes by using I versus you language. You'll find others more likely to pay attention to the substance of what you said instead of reacting negatively to the style in which you said it. The communication technique of anticipation is based on your ability to anticipate the statements, objections, or concerns of others. By doing this, you establish rapport and understanding with them. Then you're better able to resolve potential conflicts with them. You can use this technique to gain cooperation, influence others, win respect, or overcome stereotypes others may have about you. If you can anticipate the other person's reaction to you and then incorporate that reaction into your verbal statement to them, you establish rapport and understanding. You're more likely to produce a positive outcome and avoid a conflict. Watch how the outcome changes in each of these situations once the technique of anticipation is used.
I'd like the opportunity to be assigned to that account.
I don't think so. Last time you seemed to have some real problems.
You can use anticipation to influence.
On one other occasion, I had some difficulty with that account, but I've corrected the problem I had. I'd like the opportunity to work on it again.
Okay, I'm willing to discuss the possibility with you.
By using the anticipatory statement that acknowledged having had difficulty, the other person's fears and concerns were allayed, and as a result, he was open to discussion.
Listen, honey, could you get that report for me?
Okay.
You can use anticipation to win respect.
Listen, honey, could you get that report for me?
Look, I know you don't mean anything derogatory by it, but I really feel uncomfortable when you call me honey. Please, call me Paula. I'd really appreciate that.
The anticipatory statement, "I know you don't mean anything derogatory by it," allowed Paul to confront the other person's disrespectful, sexist language in a non-threatening way, without putting him down. She was then able to focus on the main issue, which was to establish an atmosphere of respect.
I have a solution that might work.
I don't think you understand. You're not a technical person.
You can use anticipation to overcome stereotypes.
I know that I'm not technically oriented, but I have a solution that I think may work in this situation.
Fine. Let's hear it.
By using the anticipatory statement, "I know that I'm not technically oriented," this woman addressed the stereotype and concern of the other person. This built rapport and helped him to be more open to her ideas. I define self-interest as the reason why somebody will do or give you what you want. People are often motivated to action and cooperation on the basis of how well you further their interests and goals. By keeping other people's self-interest in mind, you're much more likely to gain their cooperation and support. It's the way to be relevant, motivating, and compelling to others. People have a natural self-interest in the areas of money, power, popularity, status, promotion, recognition, and security. Use self-interest when you want to inspire teamwork and cooperation. It's a valuable way to motivate people towards a goal, and it's an excellent way to tie company and employee interests together. Self-interest can be a means of enlisting support from upper management, and it can also help you sell to clients and customers. It's the perfect way to tie someone else's needs to your own. Suppose you had to confront someone who tends to take any suggestions for change or improvement defensively. If you wanted to gain acceptance for your idea without creating resentment, appealing to their self-interest might be the best way to do it.
Hank, even though we work in different departments, I thought you might be interested in some technical information that I picked up at the Chicago Trade Convention. One of the speakers had some brand new ideas on how to improve data processing systems in agencies our size.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Al, our present system is doing just fine. Now listen, you don't find me coming over into your department and telling you how to run it, do you?
Hank, my purpose isn't to come in here and tell you how to run your department. I was just hoping you'd be open to some suggestions for improving the system that might save your department some money and might win you some points with the sales and marketing people.
Oh, well, in that case, I might be. If there's a way I can bring down my department's expenses and get some respect from the sales force, yeah, I'm interested.
Great, because I'm not looking for any credit. You can have that. All I want is to be able to get certain reports and data that I know will help all of us.
Al not only avoided a conflict with Hank, but converted Hank's defensive attitude to one of openness. He did this by appealing to Hank's self-interest, which was saving money and winning recognition. Now Hank is genuinely open to discussing Al's ideas. By appealing to the other person's self-interest, you can avoid or more easily resolve many of the conflicts that typically arise from lack of cooperation, disputes over authority and responsibility, or competition for resources in the organization.